Tánaiste, in the programme for government, you promised to increase the capacity within our hospitals, and this means additional beds, obviously. And this week, the COVID committee, the Irish Hospital Consultants Association, said we need to fast-track 7,100 acute community and rehab beds, plus double the capacity in the ICU. And 25% of the acute hospital's inpatient beds could be lost as a result of physical distancing measures. My question to you is, when they're saying this, and when you have promised in the programme for government, why are we failing to carry out this on the ground? And as a case in point, I give you Belmullet Hospital. There are 5 patients within the hospital. There are a full complement of staff. There is no maintenance to do the slight maintenance work that needs to be done. Now, I know there was a Labour Court hearing last year on this where it was a recommendation that 4 staff would be employed, but then you brought in the moratorium, so that couldn't happen.
Thank you, Deputy. Time is up.
We're in a situation where we have carers who cannot get respite, we don't have step-down facilities, and all we have is empty promises.
Thank you, Deputy. Tánaiste.
Thanks, Deputy. I can't answer your question specific to Belmullet. I'll ask Minister Donnelly to correspond with you on that, but there is no moratorium, by the way. We've 15,000 more health staff now than we had only a few years ago and are recruiting all the time, and bed capacity is being increased. 3 new hospitals under construction in the country, one that's just recently completed, the National Rehab in Dún Laoghaire, and new hospital wings either built or completed all over the country as well, in Clonmel, in Waterford, in Limerick, for example. Might not be happening fast enough, but it is happening, and we will try and speed it up. But I think it shouldn't all just be about beds. You know, I can understand why hospital consultants and people who work in hospitals will always say there should be more hospital beds, but there's more to the health service than hospitals. And while if you compare us with many other countries, we've many fewer beds. Interestingly, when you compare us with countries like Denmark or Sweden, where primary care is very advanced, we actually have more beds per head than they do, and a similar number to the NHS.
Thank you, Tánaiste.
It should never be simplified to that level. It's a very hospital-centric view of things.